Trapping. Trapping.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Hello, and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. So today we have on a special guest, Josh Ford, and I can't wait to hear from him. He has a lot going on, a lot of positive things, a lot of great things, and I can't wait for him to share that with us. So make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel to see the behind the scenes of Let's Sip and Talk. And also don't forget, we have our first annual Let's Sip and Talk with Freema and Friends Closet giveaway coming up December the 12th from 9 to 12 at 125 Chestnut Street here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Everything's free. Come shop, shop, shop. You might find some items for Christmas for your loved ones. So make sure you spread the word and you guys come out there. So without further ado, let's learn a little about Josh Ford.
Just blaze. Yeah. No, turn me up. Hey. I think we got one. Yeah. Here we go.
Tell me, what do you see when you're looking at me?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
On a mission to be what I'm destined to be.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I've been through the pain and the sorrow, the struggle is nothing but love. Nothing but love. I'm a soldier, a rider, a get-up survivor, and all the above.
Hey.
All the above. All the above. All the above.
Nothing, see me living my dreams. I done been to the bottom, I done suffered a lot. I deserve to be rich, headed straight to the top. Look how I rap for the block, look how I rap for the hood. I get nothing but love now when I come through the hood. Getting this fortune and fame, money make all of us change. The new Benz is all white, call it John McCain. How the hell did you stop me? Why in the world would you try? I go hard forever, that's just how I'm designed. That's just how I was built. See the look in my eyes, you take all of this from me, and I'm still gonna survive. You get truth from me, but these rappers gon' lie. I'm a part of these streets till the day that I die. I wave high to the haters, man, that I finally done made it. Take a look, and you can tell that I'm destined for greatness.
Tell me, what do you see when you're looking at me?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
On a mission to be what I'm destined to be.
Whoa, whoa.
I've been through the pain and the sorrow, the struggle is nothing but love. I'm a soldier, a rider, a get-up survivor, and all the above. 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 All the above.
It's easy to hate, it's harder to love me. Y'all don't understand, y'all quicker to judge me. Put your foot in my night, picture you living my life. Picture you stuck in this, picture you wasting your life. Picture
Hello, hello, hello.
How you doing?
I am fine. So, Mr. Josh Mode Ford, tell us a little about yourself.
Oh man, where do I even start? That's
Start from the beginning. Like, when did you know you were an athlete? When did you feel it?
at a young age. I started out, real young playing sports. I grew up in Montbello. That's a town in Denver, Colorado. That's where I'm from, Montbello. And I played for the Falcons. And just at a young age, at the start it was rough because I wasn't very good, but I developed and I just learned to use it as a vehicle, use sports as a vehicle and let it take me places. I'm an author, I'm an athlete. I'm an artist. I'm a father, a mentor. You know, I wear many hats. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Now you mentioned, and we'll definitely get back to the athletic side, but you mentioned you're an author. So
hmm
what type of books? Tell me about that.
So my first book is called Out the Cage, and it's like a self help book, but
Okay.
more so it's a journey. You know, and that's kind of the theme. The business is out the cage, as you see on my shirt, the cage breakers. It's all connected, but with out the cage, it's just about letting go of what limits you. You know, in the book, you know, I just talk about my journey of how I got to break out of, you know, the cages that I've been in, and just also talking about just leveling up in life. It's supplemental for the reader, you know, so different people get different things out of the book. Um, but for me, like, you know, I talk about, for instance, I open the book, I talk about, you know, my coach at the time, who's actually the assistant or the OC with the Kansas City Chiefs right now. He was my coach at the time, and this was years ago. We were doing an offense versus defense drill in practice, and you know, it was competition, and all the offense needed was 10 yards to win the competition, and I play running back. And, you know, the play was to me. I got the ball. I ran. I got those 10 yards. You know, I broke loose. I got those 10 yards. And once I got the 10, I started coasting. And the safety at the time, I got Terrell Smith. You know, he hawked me down, tackled me, but like I wasn't tripping because I got the 10 yards. Everybody
Right.
celebrating. We won the competition. And I look over at coach and he's not too happy, you know, and he kind of gets on me and everything. And I'm like, what's the problem? Like, we won. Like, I got the yards. Ended up going to talk to him, and you know, he was just talking about, I needed you to score. Like, you complacent, like media, you satisfied with mediocrity. You know what I mean? And he was like,
Oh, okay.
right, like finish, go score. Like, you did the minimum. You know, I want you to be great every time. And he taught me, it was like, good is the enemy of great. That's what he told me, and just was like, you know, breaking out of that cage. And you know, he transferred that into everything from me. You know, if I
Mhm.
got a C when I could have got an A, just things like that.
Right.
And that's what out
Right.
the cage is. You know, it's everybody has their different cages, whether, you know, it could be self doubt, attitude, anger, whatever it is. It's just breaking out of that cage. That's what that first book is about.
Okay. Well, that's nice, and that's what we need definitely because we sometimes do settle for less. We do just enough to get by, you know.
Right, right, just enough to get by. And then, you know, my second book is called Misinformed, and
Okay.
Misinformed is they're two separate books. Misinformed is doing really well. Misinformed, I don't really want to give away too much, but it's pretty much it's about a boy, and he's a freshman. He's an All American. He's doing really good in sports on the field, but off the field, he's making some bad decisions
Bad decision.
and things
Okay.
like that, and he's getting in trouble. And he believes in his head because I'm so good at sports, I can do whatever I want, and a lot of
Right.
people in his community is giving him a pass, letting him do whatever he wants because he's good at sports. And that's what the term misinformed is, because he gets a rude awakening. It's not always like that. And you know, he learns character matters. He learns the importance of academics. It's a great book. Everybody go check that out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, misinformed. I like that because, you know, to be honest, going through school and everything, you always thought, you know, the athletes could do whatever they want and still succeed because they're great at what they do. So again, that's another good book, a good read that all of us should read so we have more understanding. So
Mhm.
that's awesome. What made you decide you wanted to start writing and be an author?
I just always like creative writing. Um, I mean, and it's funny because it all connects to what I was talking about without the cage and being a cage breaker.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times, you know, you might like to write or do art, but you're stuck in that cage of what other people,
Right.
you know, so you're afraid to be yourself.
Absolutely.
Oh, creative writing. Oh, you like creative writing? It's like, yeah, I like to creative write, storytelling, and all that. So I just had a knack for writing, and I was like, I was already going around talking to like a lot of schools and things like that, and I just kind
Okay.
of wanted to just put a book together and give the people who I might not be able to talk to or reach, like they can get this
Right.
book, you know. So
What came in your head, Josh, to say, you know what, I want to be a motivational speaker, if that's what you would call it. I want to go out there and speak to different schools. Like, what popped in your head to say that you have that talent, you have that voice, or is it from life experiences?
It just came from life experiences. I never really planned it. I really don't even look at myself as a motivational speaker. I just go and we just have real life conversations. And um, I started small. Like I just was starting, talking to kids in the neighborhood, different teams, sharing
Mhm.
my stories. Just I think it came from just being real. Like
Right,
everything ain't
right.
all good. Everything's not perfect. I went through a lot of adversity. Just telling people they can overcome the adversity, and then like I do curriculums and things like
Mhm.
that. I keep the books, so it's all just
Okay.
intertwined. And it's not really me. It's me. I go and I speak, but the beautiful thing is I learn. Like when I go
Right.
places, I learn. Everybody's an expert at their own life. So when I go talk to youth, if I go to talk to a team, or if I go talk to the kids in jail, whatever, like I learn from them. It's a conversation.
Yeah,
So I'm getting something out of it too. So,
absolutely. And see, that's how it is when I have these conversations, these I don't necessarily like to say interviews. I like to say conversations because like you said, we learn from each other, you know? So it's not just I learn something different every time I speak to someone different. So it's good to go out there and speak because, being knowledgeable and learning from each other is awesome. A lot of people don't like to learn from each other. A lot of people, you can't tell a lot of people things. So,
yeah.
to have people like yourself in this world that's willing to go out there and give knowledge to not just kids, adults, whomever that you
Mhm.
come in contact with is amazing. So kudos to you and keep up that great work.
Likewise, kudos to you for creating this platform and, getting us on here and just having these conversations.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's needed.
one of the things that I believe in life is, as long as you inspire, you impact just one person, it matters. And
Absolutely.
it's something that's gonna keep going on. People gonna look back at these interviews and it's just gonna keep growing. So shout out to you for doing this. We
I
appreciate you.
appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. So, back to the athletic side, you said you have, is it a son that you have?
Nah, daughter, two
Oh,
daughters.
you got a daughter, because I was going to ask where you going to let him play sports, like you did. Well, I guess you can play sports too, but definitely not football. But are you still currently playing, Josh? Are you still currently playing? You retired?
I mean, it's all up in the air right now. I mean, I wasn't really like I can play. Like I'm
Mhm.
still I stay active. I can play, but it's more so now. Just I, I really want to help others. That's the biggest thing
Gotcha.
right now. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if I don't know if you got to see, but I made a song because like I said, I'm an artist, so
Mhm.
we do music. But I made a song called Athlete Depression,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, I made a song called Athlete Depression, and in the song I just talk about like all the surgeries and stuff like that I've been through.
Mhm.
So, you know, just slow.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, just going through a lot. We have to talk to the producers and see if we can play that. But just talked about going through a lot, and yeah, so now I just want to help people. You got to use
Yeah.
tool. I mean, when I do what I do, like many people, I can train, I can do all this, but what I do is I do like enrichment, like athlete development. I
Got
seen
you.
so many like I use athletics as a tool to like mentor and help people. I see
Right.
many people fall off. Like I said, all the best athletes is in jail. You
Mm.
look at you can go to any community, any city around the world. All the best athletes is in jail, or all the best athletes is like all the OGs or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
and I'm not knocking anybody, but it's just using athletics to just help people, just make better decisions and better choices. Like I said, it's tons of athletes that I know I went to school who was the best, who, you know, might have just were misinformed. So I just try
Absolutely.
to help the youngins coming up. Just to use it as a vehicle. Don't let the game use you. You use it. You know what I mean? You done gave your life and to this game, and you have nothing to show for it. Like get something out of it.
Absolutely.
Period.
And you said the name of that song was Athlete's Depression?
Athlete depression.
Athlete depression. Okay,
Go
that's
for it.
cool.
Athlete
You
depression.
know, it's funny you say that. I was on Facebook, and a gentleman, he plays football, and he has a youth football camp, and he mentioned about a lot of people don't understand that what athletes go through because they're so good on the field, but nobody actually take the time to say, are you okay? Mentally, are you okay? What's going on in your head? So yeah, they need that. You're the first person I actually spoke with that actually says you want to use that as an enrichment, because they're so good on the field, but nobody ever take the time to say, aside from football or aside from basketball, track, whatever, how are
Mhm.
you feeling?
Yeah.
What's going on in your head? So yeah, they need that.
It's all about balance, you know.
Yeah.
Like even like I seen something on it's some trending little dude ran into the ref, kind of roughed the ref up. He was a little upset. I don't know if you got to see the clip.
Mm-mm.
You see stuff like that, and people they want you to be a savage and a beast, but they don't really teach you how to separate that kind of. I
Right.
want you to be a savage. We gonna come out and we gonna have
Yeah.
and just teach about separation. But like I said, just teaching about using it as a vehicle. You
As
know,
a vegan. Right.
that's the biggest thing. It's like you see people come all over. They come from wherever, all over, and they come to these schools and they get kicked out and stuff like that, catching cases. It's like, no, take advantage of this opportunity while you're here.
Absolutely.
Because it's not just about you. It's also about your family too. You creating a pipeline. Like that was one of the things I was happy about for me. When I got to go um, to the University of Colorado. I got to create at least like a little pipeline for my little brother to come and so that was pretty
Oh,
interesting.
that's nice. That's nice. So what would you tell, just something off the top of your head, what would you tell the young kids, the ones that want to be pro football or go to college and be a college star? Like what motivation would you give them? What advice would you give them?
It's especially for the ones who's been doing it, it's just like tying your shoe. It's just like tying your shoe. You just playing football. Like just keep working, keep getting better. But it's it's the little things that's gonna separate you, like making sacrifices. That's gonna separate you. You can have all the talent in the world, but it's the little things that's gonna separate you. So when I talk about sacrifices, like I ain't gonna go to this party. I'm not gonna go to I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be on the game all night. I'm gonna do this homework. Really just making sacrifices. Um, that's one of the biggest things I'll say. Like learn to sacrifice if you really want it, and
That's the truth.
use it as a tool, but set your goals and just work hard. I'm not gonna give the Disney speeches like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." No, like set your goals
Yeah.
and work hard, but go get it. But understand it's not gonna be easy. Um, Learn, elevate, and just take advantage.
Right. What kept you on a straight and narrow, Josh? What kept you molded?
um, my community, my uncle. I got an uncle who's always on me. He makes sure I
Yeah.
do good. Having a good coach and a good mentor. But just really, like I said, seeing so many great athletes that I look up to that's older than me who probably, just ran into unfortunate situations and things
Right.
like that. And just looking at the younger athletes who, maybe didn't get that chance.
Yeah.
But also just looking at the world and me just being a black man, you know what I mean? And looking how the world is and look at, what's going on in the world. It's like, I want to help people, but I I had my fair share of troubles. I'm not perfect, but I had people that didn't give up on me, and I paid it forward.
Right. So you believe in a saying it takes a village to raise a child, because you named quite a few individuals that impacted your life, from uncles to coaches, parents. So you believe in a saying it takes a village to raise a child?
Yeah, it takes a village because you learn from everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
You learn from everybody, and everybody plays a part. You know, It takes a village because if you look at it, and we in the village, and you see people, you got people in the village who's letting you get passes, and they see you doing stuff, and they don't say nothing to you. They letting you slide. They see you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a village.
That's the
Yeah,
truth.
even
I
when
wish
I'm
a lot of parents would, really think about that. And like you said, watch these interviews, go back and watch them and hear it from kind of like the horse's mouth, from the athletes saying that, yeah, we had several different individuals teaching us, not just one. Because, the reason I say that, a lot of parents get upset when you say something to their child nowadays, so it's kind of hard.
yeah, they get on you, but I mean, the big is if it comes from a good place and it's just love, like, hey, like, better, don't do that. You know what I mean? Just kind of
Right.
our responsibility to each other. You know,
Absolutely.
that's just really what it is. I mean, so going back to it takes a village, like that's just with everything. Somebody in my immediate family or whatever might not have the tools or might not can't teach me something. I'll go learn it from
Right.
somebody else. We can't be selfish. That's the biggest thing. Like we gotta help each other. Like, you know,
It's the
like
truth.
the books, they not for me, they for us.
Exactly.
They,
Exactly.
they're for us. Like when I talk about misinformed, like that's for us to help, the young men and young women coming up to take advantage of their opportunities. Like so many, so many people have faced like academic casualties where
Yeah.
they can't play. Some of the best, have been ineligible. And it's not due to, them not being smart. It's just some people just probably didn't care, didn't take school seriously because they were so good. Some people probably was never taught that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just things like that. Yeah, it takes a village.
Takes a village. Absolutely. Absolutely. And just one more time, what's the name of your books?
Misinformed and out the cage.
And out the cage. And everybody can get these books on different platforms,
They're available
Amazon. Uh-huh.
Amazon, available on Amazon, and they're available on outthecage.com.
Okay, outthecage.com. You can get the books on Amazon as well. Y'all make sure y'all get these books. We can learn from each other. We can learn from these books because a person like me who has kids as athletes, that's something that'll be a good read for me. So I can get the inside and know how to handle different situations. So
Definitely.
again, kudos to you, Josh. Kudos to you. Let's see. Also, the music, is that already out already or it's coming? That's a work in progress.
It's out. It's out.
It's already out. Okay.
Out. So it just goes back to storytelling, just different ways of storytelling. Like I told you, and just being creative. I'm not a rapper,
Right.
but I just get to use it and I get to tell stories. And then when I go back to, like if I'm in a classroom, if I'm in a lecture, we can look back to the videos. So I got just a bunch of different projects in that aspect. Again, I'm not a rapper, I'm just an artist. But I use
Just
that
all.
to story
Yeah.
tell. Like the athlete depression, like a lot of people, that helped a lot of people. And
I
I had
believe
people
it.
with it, you know what I mean? And it helped me too. But it was a regular I speak where a lot of people was like, what? You went through that? I didn't even know. It's like, yeah, it's real.
It's real. And it helps more people say, okay, I'm not the only one. I can share my story with someone now. I don't feel like I'm in this box by myself. So, like to
Well,
use your
it,
platform, to use what you had to do stuff like this it's amazing. You're thinking outside the box and you're helping people at the same time.
I'm just really doing my part. And it goes back to like we're gonna talk about being out the cage, and you see the shirt of
Mhm.
cage breaker. It's just doing your part to serve the world. Like this is me, you know what I mean? If I'm trying to be somebody else, then I'm not being me, and I'm not helping, and I'm not doing my part for the world. This machine. Me being just a little screw in the bigger picture. Um,
Yeah.
so with that, like I I, I just got to do my part, if that makes sense. And
Yeah, I get it. That's how I feel.
yeah, and like a lot of us go through it. So, again, it's athlete depression and yeah.
That's how I feel though, and it takes whatever your mindset is, you just want to put something out there in the universe. You want to put it out there in the air. You want to help somebody, like you said, one person at a time, because, you know, I can't expect everybody to just listen to an interview or listen to the show and get something from it. But if I can get just at least one person and say, you know what, I'm going to take this and run with it, or I'm going to take this and use it, then I feel like my job for that day is done. You know, I feel like I did a good deed for that day. So I always tell on my show, make sure you did a good deed today, whether it's complimenting somebody, making somebody feel good. You never know what one person is going through, you know, so try to just be nice. Kindness doesn't cost you anything. So yeah, I always try to, you know, say positive things on the show, keep people motivated, let them know, like, this world is ugly already. We don't need to be mean to each other. Like, we don't have to do that.
Exactly.
And I don't know if it's okay, Josh, but are we able to play your song? Alan was able to find it. Can we play it, or?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's play it.
Okay, Alan, we can listen to it. Let's do it. Athlete depression.
Just come in when you feel like it. What about the beginning? DJ.
This is J.
When you're ballin', everything's all good. Everybody wants a part. But even your shadow leaves you when it's done. When you're ballin', everything's all good. Everybody wants a part. But even your shadow leaves you when it's done.
Athlete depression, that's what I'm facing, yo. Everything gone now. Used to be amazing, though. Acting brand new, like they never heard of me. Yeah, they all turn their backs, burned to the 3rd degree. Crazy and absurd to see, slowed down by surgeries. Still empty to this day, not where I prefer to be. Don't forget me if you make it, that's what they used to say. They forgot about me though, still hurt to this day. Why you try and always fail? Why you stay injured as hell, falling off the trail? Why you ain't up in the NFL?
When you're ballin', everything's all good. Everybody wants a part. But even your shadow leaves you when it's done. When you're ballin', everything's all good. Everybody wants a part. But even your shadow leaves you when it's done.
I'm thinking it's CTE, depression up inside of me. Self-worth in the game, so I don't know what I'ma be. Identity foreclosure, been doing this since I was 2. Now it's all over, and I don't know what I'ma do. Thank God I stayed in school, truthfully not many do. Khalil, I owe my life to you. Sean White, you saved me too. Slash show me there's more to life, so now I know what I'ma do. All my athletes stay strong, yeah, you gon' make it through. Gotta make it through the phase, gotta break up out the cage. Elevate, go learn the trade, it's more to life, you'll be amazed.
When you're ballin', everything's all good. Everybody wants a part. But even your shadow leaves you when it's done. When you're ballin', everything's all good. Everybody wants a part. But even your shadow leaves you when it's done.
Josh, listen to Granny. Granny have a message for you. I know you're down and you've been hurt. Hold your head high. God bless you, and I love you. I love you. I love you.
Wow, that was good. That was very inspiring. That's something that we need to hear. That was great. That was great. Because like you said, you ball and everybody wants a part. But, you know, things run out and things change, you know, people change. So Yeah, these athletes got to remain strong. We can't forget about them as a person. We got to look at them as, the person they are, not just that athlete. That was amazing. I love that.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it was, it's just storytelling. It's a lot of people's stories, a lot of
Yeah.
people's, reality, a lot of, like I said, so many people, just was hitting me just on the, they're not gonna comment or say anything, but they was hitting in the private messages like, thank you. I needed that, or I'm going through it, and it's like, okay, I got you. Let me help, or how can I help, or get you some resources because it's real. You've been doing it. Like I said, I've been doing
Yeah.
this since I was two. And then like just lost a lot of people, a lot of good people. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when you get injured, that's depressing and stuff. So, Josh, you have to keep this up. They need someone like you. These athletes need someone that know it's another world other than just athletics. That's going on. So, yeah, you keep up this good work. And we have to, sit down and talk again in the future just to see, what's going on now and all this other stuff, because I love to hear stories like this. I love to talk to individuals that want to make a difference,
Right.
so I appreciate you. Thank you so much for this. I don't want to hold you for your whole Sunday, but before we part ways, is there anything else that you would like to say, that you would like to share with us?
Oh man. I just got a lot, a lot in the work, still creating, still working. Definitely get them those books. But like I said, I'm here to help. If anybody who's watching wants to connect or, wants to talk, you guys can contact the admin, and get in touch or whatever. You know what I mean? They can hit you up. However we can work that out. And likewise, if you need me or, you know, anybody on the production team needs me, just let me know, and I'm there. I love this platform and what you guys have. And like I said, I just like to help people.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And that's really that. What got you into, what like motivated you to start, you know,
Um, well, in my previous job, I was a mission coordinator, to where I had to basically make sure it was about maybe 300 plus agents where I worked at. And I had to make sure everybody was kind of happy. I know it sounds like how, but
mhm,
from playing games with them, allowing them to come to my office and confide in me on things that's going on, helping them find resources when they were going through maybe hardships or just any type of situation. So I was their go-to to help mold them to become better versions of themselves, to let them know that you can be better than you were yesterday. So I was that individual that did that. And honestly, it got a little overwhelming, not because of my task and my duties, but because I was asked to do other things that was not in my scope. So now I'm taken away from the agents to do interviews or be the receptionist, and it was just like, I wasn't signed up. I want to deal with my agents. I want to help them. So I kind of had to move on. And once I moved on, I still wasn't fulfilled because I wasn't no longer doing what I enjoyed doing, as far as helping people. So I decided to come up with this. At first it started out being panels, getting doing different topics, seeing it from different people's perspectives. And
mhm,
then COVID came and messed that up to where we couldn't be around each other. And then
yeah,
Alan came around and
yeah.
said, "Hey, what about virtual interviews?" And
Shout
so,
out to
hey, here
Alan.
I am.
Shout out to Alan. Shout out
Shout
to
out
Alan.
to Alan. Definitely, definitely. So
Shout out
yeah,
to
here I am. So
what's been your favorite episode so far, if you have one? I know
I don't know if
everyone.
I have one yet.
Everyone.
I do. I don't want to say it was my favorite, because I'm so big on dare to be different.
Exactly.
Like, don't stay in a bubble. Talk about what you feel you want to talk about, but be respectful. A recent one I just had was with Mr. John Gunning. And the
Okay.
reason why it was my most, I'm not going to say favorite, but one of the, because it was different. We spoke
Right.
about race. We spoke about, we took it there. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so that was kind of like, this is what I like. Let's get people blood boiling. Let's get people to think outside the box, you know. So that was one of my favorite ones if I had to choose so far, only because it was a different conversation, and me and him are two different race. So to be able to have a conversation like that, I found it interesting. I loved it.
Right, right. And you know, on that topic, you know, you talking about race and just all those types of things. I admire that because, like I said, that's what we both doing. You know,
Yeah,
helping
yeah,
these men and women.
absolutely.
For
And you
real.
gotta have a voice and not be scared to voice it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be scared to say it. Sometimes you can't sugarcoat when you want to help individuals, you know. So
And that's that. Did you play sports at all?
I ran track.
Ran track. You ran track.
I always wanted to play basketball, but I don't know if I could handle that. It's kind of rough out there. So I did track.
So with you, you know, you coming up, um, and I know you grew up around a lot of amazing athletes. Like, I'm from a whole different side of the map. So I ask you this, like, did you see any, you know, young men and women who, you know, had promising futures, sports school, who fell off?
Yes. And see, I didn't keep in touch to know the truth. But of course, there's always he say, she say. So I don't know if it was the smoking marijuana or they just didn't have that drive anymore. I don't know. But we had a lot of great athletes that I knew, which I'm a high schooler, so I don't know for certain, could make it, but didn't. So I don't know what happened with that. In college, the college I went to, we didn't have a sport. I know it sounds crazy. I went to a mortuary college. So it was a private school. We didn't have like sports and stuff there. But for high school, I did see a lot of individuals that I felt could have made it and did.
Right. You know, and even when you talk about, like, you know, smoking marijuana or whatever, it's like somebody to teach them about you know what I mean? About drinking. Like, I'm not gonna shame anybody for smoking or drinking, but I'm gonna teach you about it, you know.
Right. So they understand what it does to you.
So yeah, that's what it is. Somebody to teach them about it. Everybody like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna teach you about it and about its effects. I'm gonna teach you about why, you know, and this is male, female, whatever. This is you know, you're a freshman coming in and you go to a party and you want to have these many drinks. I'm gonna teach you about the effects and what it does to you know, the brain and the body, you know, and all these different types of things, the effects and why you can't do that. The assaults, it's just a lot that's you know, just really trying to help. Like,
And see the approach. Excuse
the
my dog.
approach, it's all good. It's about the approach, but
Yep.
like I said, I'm not knocking or shaming anybody, but it's like if I come and I come from the hood, you know, I don't have anything, and you bring these guys out there, and like you got a guy who maybe gets sent home for stealing a Xbox, like you stealing an Xbox, they kick you off campus, or you still, you know what I mean? You still laptop, you get just things like that, and it's like, shoot, they gonna go and recruit somebody else. You know what I mean? It's gonna keep going. So really teaching the athletes like the importance of the opportunity at hand and to take advantage. You know what I mean? Interdependence.
Right.
You get out of it, you know, and that's the thing. And like I said, I really use it to mentor, you know, young men and women. That's really
Absolutely.
what everybody loves sports. Go to some of these little league games, you see it. It's like, okay, we use this. And like I said, I've got to do so many things to it. I got to talk to so many teams, professional teams, college teams, and learn from them. Like I said, I'm nobody special. I just appreciate every opportunity, and so
like right now, what we're facing, my son, he's a junior in high school. He plays varsity, you know, and to me, he's pretty good, you know, whatever he starts or whatever. And after the second game, they decided no more games, you know, because of COVID is rising. So as parents, it was disheartening. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Da, 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 da. So at the same time, I understand health is important. Don't get me wrong. They have to do what they have to do. But it's like, what do we do with our little people now? You know, the gyms are closed for the parents that don't have the goal in the backyard, you know, and stuff. What are we to do with our little boys to keep them motivated?
You got to find a way. And that's
Do we go run around the track or something
no,
together? Like, I don't know what to do.
I think we've been so spoiled that I hit some push-ups, do some some jumping jack. But I think the biggest thing is, like, for example, this I'm gonna connect this, but
Mhm.
in my city they open the In and Out. You can look all this up. They open the In and Out in my city. In and Out is like a fast food restaurant, and In and Out, like, it's like a 12 to 14 hour wait, and people was waiting in line for 12 hours. You can Google this. People was waiting in line for 12 hours to get an In and Out burger, and a lot of people was like, "What's going on?" I even was looking at it like, "What's going on?" But then I thought about it, and I was like, "You got to see the goal, not the obstacle." So then people was waiting in line. No, I thought it was crazy to wait in line for 12 hours for a burger. That the goal was to get a burger. They didn't care about the obstacle to 12 hours. They cared about the goal, which was to get that burger. So right now, if your goal is to play sport, it's an obstacle, COVID, but I'm gonna find a way. And that's what the kids, we got to work on, just strengthening them up mentally to, look at history, look at all the things. Now it's our turn. You look at history, everybody has gone through something. We ain't
Right.
just gonna get by, free and without adversity or anything. But it's like, how do we deal with it? And I look at my older bro. His name's Jeremy Dodson. He runs track, and he was going out for the Olympics. This was a couple years ago. The Olympics comes around every 4 years, and he had just missed it.
Mm.
But he didn't give up. You know what I mean? He kept
Right.
working and he kept working. And I would want the kids to kind of adapt to that mindset, like, don't give up, like, because 4 years, you miss your turn. You got to wait 4 years to
Another
try
40
again.
years. Yeah, that can be.
That's tough. But what bro did, he didn't give up. He just kept working, through the uncertainty. He just kept working. Because when them gates open, you don't want to be the one who was just sitting on the couch and, everybody else is in tip top shape, because it's going to
Yeah.
keep regardless. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but I would say, success leaves clues. You can never start working or give up or get discouraged. We all get down, but it's like you get down, you overcome it, and keep the faith. And
Right.
us, me, you, whoever, got to keep watering those seeds and keep that hope.
Yeah,
So
that's the truth. And that's what I told him. I said, Khalid, we just have to keep your skills up. We have to keep you going or whatever. For what? What if I can't use it for the rest of, my high school career? And then I said, so when college come in, guess what? You'll be the baddest one on the team because you kept your skills up. So we just have to keep going. So I try to keep him motivated. I hope it works. I'm going to have to work out with him. Daddy going to have to get out there and work out with him. But we're going to have to do it for our kids, because I know it's a hard time for them. If the parents were upset, we can imagine how these kids felt with this.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, you're exactly right, and we just have to keep going. I mean, one thing what I would ask you is, like, what motivates you? What motivates you?
And it's such a cliche, a vague when you say your kids, but honestly, I have to show these kids that it's possible. Go out there, get your dreams. You can do it. Watch mama work hard. You know what I mean? Me and my oldest son, we have conversations. I kind of thought, like, I wonder if he talked to his sisters and brothers, like me and him talk, on that level as an older brother. He said, "Ma, talk to them. I read, I relay the information, I talk to them. You did good with us. I watch what you do, and I'm not going to mess up." So that meant a lot. You know what I mean? It meant a lot. It means that I'm showing them the steps to take. So yeah, my kids definitely motivate me, because I don't want them to see anything different. I want them to see that you got to be a go-getter. You got to go out there and get it, and no one's going to give it to you. And also at the same time, don't be afraid to ask. If you do not know, ask. If you need assistance, ask. The worst case scenario is the answer is no, I can't help you or whatever. But at least you put your foot out there and you did ask for the help that you may need.
Exactly.
But something else that motivates me as well is knowing that I made a difference in someone's life. Whether it's small or large, knowing that Freema has some type of dealings with that, it makes me feel good.
Right on. Right
Yeah.
on. I would have to ask you, as you see my shirt, the company is the Cage Breakers. So, I'm a part of the Cage Breakers. When you hear the word Cage Breaker, what does that mean to you?
If I hear the phrase cage breaker, to me that's getting out of the bubble, getting out of your comfort zone and stepping out there on faith, just trying it. Because if you never get out that cage and try something different, you're gonna be comfortable at the state that you're in now, and it's probably so much more out there. So to me, a cage breaker is to get out that bubble you're in and try something different, get out that comfort zone.
Exactly. You gotta go get it. And that's the motivation behind it. And that's what really, things like this and everything, when you talk about me being a motivational speaker, it's just really pushing this brand, and helping people get out of their cages like myself. Um,
Mhm.
we'll look at like a tiger in the zoo. Like, you comfortable in the zoo. You get fed, you get everything you want. You got chew toys, um, all these things, versus a tiger in the jungle. You got to hunt for your
Right.
food. You got to, it's a little bit different. Um, but you're limited when you're in a cage. Like, things
Yeah.
hold you back. So one of the things I talk about when I talk to the kids is, I'll ask them, I'll say, what is a cage? They'll tell me, and then I'll ask them what their cage is. Think about it, like, what's holding them back. And before all this, I'll have them write out their goals, and then what's holding you back from that? What's your cage like? And they'll tell you, they'll be 100 with you, and you just gotta have, you work through it. We all have
Right.
problems. We all have different addictions, whether it be social media, whatever.
That's the
What's
truth.
going, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. What are you going to sacrifice? And
That's
this
the
isn't
truth.
everything. What are you going to sacrifice? You have to sacrifice. But if you say, "Oh, I want to go to Clemson. I want to go to Alabama. I want to go to Grambling. I want to go," it's a broad spectrum that they say. It's like, okay, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Right. What are you gonna do to get there? What are you gonna leave behind to get there?
Exactly.
Like, what are you giving up? Because some of us, like you said, do have these addictions or bad habits, that we don't want to let go, but it's hindering us from moving forward. Like, I don't like change. That holds me back a lot.
Yeah.
I get comfortable. I don't want to try something new because I'm content with this. I know how it's going to work, and that's with anything from my wireless service to the type of clothing I wear. Like, I'm comfortable. I know what I'm getting, so why change it? But sometimes we have to do it. Sometimes we have to do it.
Gotta level up. Change is scary. That's crazy. I talk about that in the book too, about change. A lot of people are scared to change, but
Yeah, I always been that way. I always been that way, but I'm getting better at it. And
Mhm.
like I said, even with the show, before Alan proposed this to me, me and my friends would have to like role play because I'm like, I cannot just sit on here and talk by myself. I can't
Right.
just do this. What am I supposed to do? And da, da, da. So I wanted to kind of just let the whole thing go, the whole concept go. But
Oh,
I think
I love it.
I did maybe 1 to 3 shows by myself, and then that's when Alan was like, you ever thought about this? And
Yeah,
so had I not did those shows by myself, I don't think I'll be here because Alan wouldn't have seen me doing it. I would have just let it go until COVID was over. And guess what? COVID's still here, so it would have never been over. So my
exactly.
little dream would have went down that. I'd have been done.
You adapted.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
adapt.
adapted. Yep, definitely,
And I
definitely.
love it. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah,
Um, and
I
I'm
enjoyed our conversation. We have to do this again.
likewise.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. I'm gonna ask you just to stay on. Once I disconnect from everybody, just stay on. Don't go nowhere. I just wanted to talk to you a little quick behind the scenes.
Okay.
But all the viewers, thank you guys for watching. Make sure y'all share this video, especially again if you have athletes, you got sisters, brothers, kids. You never know what they're going through. So, like I said, on these conversations that we have on Sundays, Wednesdays, and sometimes on our Friday night discussions, you can learn from this. You can take this and share it with someone else, and you are then helping that other person by giving them information that you learned today. So don't be selfish. Help someone else. Look at it that way. Do a good deed by sharing the video so they can understand there's other athletes out there that's just like them. Don't forget, they're more than just an athlete. They're people, and they go through things as well. So as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.
Appreciate it.